Hi, Barath here, and one of the questions I get most often is how do you turn down ferrules properly? Because there's lots of different ways to do it. You can, if there's a really tight fit, you can just use acetone. There are other ways where you can use like a very light Scotch-Brite pad, although it's not the best. What I like to use, and this is my trusty 42 by 1 inch belt. It's on a real full-blown high-power belt sander. And also use a ferrule turning arm. So what this allows you to do is create angles to make sure that as I'm finishing it, it actually creates a consistent taper. Because one of the biggest issues you'll see with people that aren't doing it properly is they'll be very flat and then they'll taper off. And what that means is they aren't able to adjust their angles. And one of the things that I like to talk about all the time is your finishing work and how it actually shows that someone really knows what they're doing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use one of these. I got a full set here. I'm gonna turn down one of these ferrules. This is from Boyd Blade and Ferrule Co. And that's one of the other things too. You never wanna have to go back and redo this part, because if you mess it up and it looks really terrible, you have to rebuild the golf club. It's not an easy process. It's a painstaking process. And for something as simple as a ferrule to do it right, it doesn't take that much time. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip it around. I'm gonna show you how I kind of create those angles using the proper tools to show you how to do it properly. So let's take a look.
Once the belt sander reaches full speed, the first thing I want to do is take down the thickest part of the ferrule, and that's where it meets the hosel of the iron. You can see that I'm always moving the club head because the last thing I want to do is create flat spots. I move across the entire length of the ferrule, and then I adjust the angle to make sure that the taper is consistent, and then we're done.
Okay, so now to the final step. We've obviously already finished turning the ferrule, but what you're gonna find a lot of times, because the belt, there's gonna be residue, you'll get a little bit of stuff on the hosel. So all you do is you use just a light sanding pad. You can use a Scotch-Brite pad. It's all very easy. And you just put it on there and go around a few times. So not only what that does is it cleans up that transition, which makes it look really clean. What it also does is it just makes sure that you actually get this nice little bit of grain on the ferrule, which looks really nice. Now there's only one thing. You have to be concerned with, especially anything that's a little bit heavier grit, if you're working with an iron that is chrome, like shiny chrome that goes all the way up to the ferrule. Because if it is shiny chrome that goes up to the ferrule, you have to use very, very light, like an SOS pad style or something that's like a Scotch-Brite that is very, very light and fine in its grit, or else you're going to scratch the chrome. You don't want to do that. So make sure you know what you're working with. This is satin, so what that allows me to do is use something that's a little heavier grit and clean it up really quickly. And so as a club builder, I love to see satin finished golf clubs like this on the hosel, but if you are working with chrome, you have to be cautious of what you're working with because you don't want to mess with those iron finishes. Now, the last, but definitely not the least important part of this is to actually get it to shine. It is plastic, so what we're trying to do is just get it to, get that sheen on it. So, and make it almost look like it's wet. So how do you do that? Plain and simple acetone. You don't want to use nail polish remover that says it's acetone because it's nowhere near 100% acetone and it can actually leave the ferrules cloudy. You want industrial or paint grade pure acetone that comes in a nice metal container. Blue shop towel. You don't have to skimp on this, and then you want to be very quick, and that's it. You have a nice shiny ferrule ready to go and ready to go in your golf bag. So if you like this video, you like stuff like this, the how-tos, the understanding the processes, please subscribe to the channel. If you have questions, please use the comment section below, and as always, thanks for watching.